What is good, man? It is your round. Pat Boy Dolo checking in with another episode of Round the Clock Thinkers. And you already know the vibes. Shout out to my people out there, man. I'm sipping tea. I'm in here doing what I do best, you feel me? About to get these shows off to ya. First and foremost, you already know that the show is brought to you by the Treeway Winterwear Collection, man. You can cop the drip, browse the drip, do what you need to, do what you want to. It's your world. I'm just living in it. You dig? Also, make sure you go get the Pretty Much Understanding. The link to the free e-booklet is in the description. Make sure you go get that. You feel me? I am super pumped how that ebook, how it turned out, man. I'm telling y'all better go check that out for real. And if you don't want the e-booklet, excuse me, and you just want the physical copy, then just go to Amazon, the Amazon link. I think that'll be like the first link. Go to that link and then just get the physical copy shipped to you. You dig? But that is a booklet that I put practical information in that'll help you from my screw ups. You feel me? Where I fucked up at? Look, listen. You can benefit from. You dig? That's why I packaged it for you. And it's free. The e-booklet is free. But the Amazon book, I think is like $7. Anyway, today we're going to get into something a bit tricky. If you get my drift, and you may get my drift pretty quickly once I start spilling this off to you. Now, you and I, we all understand and are very familiar with these two terms, fear and anxiety. Right? Well, it was this guy. I think he was a psychiatrist, excuse me. He was a psychiatrist. He was this guy by the name of Viktor Frankl. Right? And Viktor Frankl, he dealt with, he basically was the guy who came up with this concept called Paradoxical Intentions. And what a paradoxical intention is basically you are telling or forcing your mind to think that what you don't want to do is actually what you want to do. Right? So I'm going to break that down here. Paradoxical intention deals with making yourself accept your fear to the highest of levels. Making yourself want your fear to happen at the highest of levels. It's a paradox. I know it's confusing, but this is really important. What's going on right here? Check it out. This dude, Viktor Frankl, is a genius. So, he had a particular experience with a sweating physician, right? And since the physician hated sweating and getting nervous, Viktor advised him to see how he could sweat as much as possible and be as nervous as possible. And it made it go away. Within a week, he cured himself. So what I'm saying, y'all, is fear and anxiety that you deal with can be cured once you change how you look at it. Right? Because fear is the main thing that we tend to avoid. But unfortunately for us, avoiding fear is actually what strengthens it. That's the paradox. You try to avoid fear and it strengthens it. So guess what you should do? You should completely, at the highest level, invite fear. It's so confusing, right? But as you think about it, you can't tell me that this shit don't make sense. Right? Also, we're going to roll into hyper-intention. Hyper-intention. I know you heard of hypertension. This is hyper-intention. It's the intention, excuse me, an excessive focus on achieving or preventing a particular outcome. An excessive focus on achieving or preventing a particular outcome. That's hyper-intention. Your intention. It's an excessive focus. Right? So what some of us do, we excessively focus on that fear. We excessively focus on what we don't want to happen. And it multiplies it. It multiplies it. And I get it, y'all. It's hard as fuck not to think like that. It's hard not to be in that kind of cycle. I get it. It's hard to not be in that type of dynamic with your situations. I understand. But here's the kicker. You have to become extremely accepting and inviting to whatever you don't want to happen. You have to quit resisting. You have to, or the loop continues. So the example that they gave right here is sleep insomnia. Now, I dealt with that when I was coming off of pills, y'all. Let me tell y'all, that shit is real. It's something serious. I'm talking about if you sleep with your feet posted up against the wall and your head, like your feet is vertical, propped up against the wall, and your head is on the pillow, and you find that comfortable when you're dealing with sleep insomnia. Any way that you can get comfortable and sleep, you'll do it. I don't give a damn how the position is. Yo, sleep insomnia is real. But anyway, the inability to fall asleep is strengthened by your strong intention to fall asleep. Let me say that again. Dealing with sleep insomnia, the inability to fall asleep is strengthened by your strong intention to fall asleep. Hyper intention. You have a hyper intention on falling asleep. I need to fall asleep so bad, right? But by you doing that, you strengthen not falling asleep. The inability to fall asleep. Right? So let's go even deeper. What is the meaning of a paradox? I know you may be curious about that. What is a paradox? Well, a paradox is this: a statement that is seemingly contradictory or opposed to common sense and yet is perhaps true. Right? I'm going to say that again. A paradox is a statement that is seemingly contradictory or opposed to common sense, and yet is perhaps true. See what I'm saying? So when you look at this, you will say, if I fear something, I want more of that fear. I want to be extremely fearful and invited, openly invited, and it dissipates. Openly inviting. So back to the situation with sleep insomnia. We would want to have a good night's sleep if we have insomnia. That's common sense, right? They're breaking down paradox. But in the wanting to have a good night's sleep, that's where the problem lies. It's the paradox, right? So the key to solving this problem is, instead of wanting these things, to have paradoxically want the opposite. You want to paradoxically want the opposite thing to happen to you, for you, to you, with you. You want to think in the opposite of whatever you're trying to produce. Or trying not to produce in this particular scenario. So you would be trying not to produce fear. But within trying not to produce fear, you end up producing more fear. Instead, you should completely be open and inviting to fear. Feel me? I don't want that to go over y'all head, because that's very important, and this is confusing information, but it is, if you understand it and apply it, you'll see how it works. Everything is a paradox. You'll see how it works. Literally, you'll see how it works. Right? So, replacing the object of our desire with a statement that seems contradictory, wishing for what we seem to fear. Wish for what we seem to fear. Back to the story with Viktor Frankl and the sweating physician. Since he hated sweating and getting nervous, Frankl advised him to go sweat as much as you possibly can around these people. Please, go just be as scared as you possibly can and see how much sweat you can produce. And the dude, he did it. Each time he tried to sweat more, he tried to get more scared. Within a week, he cured himself by the way of paradoxical intention. So what's the point of this show, Dolo? Paradoxical intention, what's the point? If you don't have the point yet, let me break it down to you. You're learning to use psychological tactics to push you to success. Once you learn how your mind works, specifically your mind, and what works for you. But this right here, this is science. This is scientifically proven. This is a lot of these stories. It's people that did it, that are dealing with the same trouble and problems that we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So we would be missing out tremendously if we didn't study this stuff, read up on it, and then apply it. See what I'm saying? we'll be missing out tremendously. So learn to use psychological tactics to push you to success. Whatever your goal is, on the other side of that is beauty. But when you're approaching that goal, it's fear. Fear is right there first. And you have to have strong enough faith to beat fear. Once you beat fear, then you end up on the other side where it's beautiful, where you just knew that you could get to. But you gotta face the fear. And a lot of people throughout the way of history have beat this fear and anxiety by way of paradoxical intention. Man, it's your round Pat Bordello checking out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man. Fuck with me. I be doing this shit. Man, listen. I'm about to fast, right? I'm about to fast, and I've been just really dealing with different things outside of podcast. So now that I'm about to go on a fast, I'm about to pump out a lot of shows to y'all. Like, this is note after note after note after note after note. You feel me? And I'm low key, like, I'm testing the show style. Like, I'm swapping up here. I'm testing some stuff out, man, to see which route I really want to go with this. But appreciate y'all for tapping in, man, checking this information out, man. You shall benefit, man. Successful transfers of this almighty information from me to you, man. You shall benefit. You just gotta apply it. That's it. You just gotta apply it. Man, it's your round Pat Bordello checking out. Peace.